साद्वैतं सर्वभूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् शरणलिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नाम श्रेष्ठं मनुमपि शुचिपुत्रमत्र स्वरूपम् रूपं तस्याग्रजमभ्रुभुरिं मातुरीं गोष्ठवाटिम् राधाकुण्डं गिरिवरमहो राधिका माधवाशा प्राप्ते श्रीगुरुं तं नतोऽस्मि। नमस्ते गुरुदेवाय सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायिने सर्वमङ्गलरूपाय सर्वानन्दविधायिने यं प्रावृजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यम् द्वैपायनो विरहकातराजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवो विनेदुस् तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। हे श्री गुरो ज्ञाननदीन बन्धो स्वानन्ददाता करुणैकसिन्धो वृन्दावनासीन हितावतारः प्रसीद राधा प्रणय प्रचार त्रायस्तभो जगन्नाथ गुरे संसारवह्निना दग्धं मां कालदष्टं च त्वामहं शरणं गताम्. First of all, offer my millions of obeisances to lotus feet of Asmadya Guru Pad Padma Nityala Pratijat Guru Srimad Bhakti-Vidanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Trendi Swami Srimad Bhakti-Vidanta Dandi Maharaj, Namnishta Santa Shri Aniruddhas Prabhuji, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, please accept my humble obeisances. Namaha Pankajanaಭಾಯ नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे. This is the verse, first canto, 8th chapter, 22nd verse. नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे. Namaha, all respectful obeisances, Pankajanabhaya, unto the Lord, who has a specific depression resembling a lotus flower in the center of his domain. Namaha, obeisances. Pankajana Maline, one who is always decorated with a garland of lotus flowers. Namaha, obeisances. Pankajam Netraya, one whose glance is as cooling as a lotus flower. Namaha, Te, respectful obeisances unto you. Pankaja Angre, unto you, the soles of whose feet are engraved with lotus flowers, and who are therefore said to possess lotus feet. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses. Teachings of Queen Kunti, Chapter 5, the Vision of Lotuses. Here are some of the specific symbolic marks on the spiritual body of the personality of Godhead, which distinguish his body from the bodies of all others. They are all special features of the body of the Lord. The Lord may appear as one of us, but he is always distinct by his specific bodily features. Srimati Kunti claims herself unfit to see the Lord because of her being a woman. This is claimed because women, Shudras, the labor class, and the Dvijabandhus, or the wretched descendants of the higher three classes, are unfit by intelligence to understand transcendental subject matter concerning the spiritual name, fame, attributes, forms, etc., of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Such persons, although they are unfit to enter into the spiritual affairs of the Lord, can see him as the Archa Vigra, who descends on the material world just to distribute favors to the fallen souls, including the above mentioned women, Shudras, and Dvijabandhus. But because such fallen souls cannot see anything beyond matter, the Lord condescends to enter into each and every one of the innumerable universes as the Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, who grows a lotus stem from the lotus-like depression in the center of his transcendental abdomen, and thus Brahma, the first living being in the universe, is born. Therefore, the Lord is known as the Pankajanavi. The Pankajanavi Lord accepts the Archa Vigraha, his transcendental form, in different elements, namely a form within the mind, a form made of wood, a form made of earth, a form made of metal, a form made of jewel, and a form made of paint, a form drawn on sand, etc. All such forms of the Lord are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, and there should be a soothing atmosphere in the temple of worship to attract the burning attention of the non-devotees always engaged in material wrangling. The meditators worship a form within the mind. Therefore, the Lord is merciful even to the women, Shudras and Dvijabandhus, provided they agree to visit the temple of worship in different forms made for them. Such temple visitors are not idolaters, as alleged by some men with a poor fund of knowledge. All the great acharyas established such temples of worship in all places just to favor the less intelligent, and one should not pose himself as transcending the stage of temple worship while one is actually in the category of the Shudras and the women or less. One should begin to see the Lord from the lotus feet, gradually rising to the thighs, waist, chest, and face. One should not try to look at the face of the Lord without being accustomed to seeing the lotus feet of the Lord. Srimati Kunti, because of her being the aunt of the Lord, did not begin to see the Lord from the lotus feet because the Lord might feel ashamed. Thus Kunti Devi, just to save a painful situation for the Lord, began to see the Lord just above the lotus feet from the waist of the Lord, gradually rising to the face and then down to the lotus feet. In the round everywhere there is order. So here you see that generally you have to see the first lotus feet of the Lord. But Kunti, she wanted to say embarrassment to the Lord, so she began to describe Lord from his portion above the feet. Namo Pankajanaಭಾಯ, Namo Pankajamaline, Namo Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangre. Namo Pankajanaಭಾಯ, Namo Pankajamaline, Namo Pankajanetraya, Namah Pankajamaline. So this is such a wonderful description which is given. Namo Pankajanaಭಾಯ, Namo Pankajamaline, Namo Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangre. Every day we should sing at least one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. And prayers of Kunti, they are so sweet. So we should at least sing this verse every day. Namaha Pankajanaಭಾಯ, Namah Pankajamaline, Namah Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangre. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with depression like a lotus flower, or always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers. whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses. The Sai Maharaj is telling, the lotus feet, there are flags, lotus flowers, chariot. These are the symbolic representations. God is person, but his personality is distinct from our personality. So these specific marks are there on his lotus feet. And Pankajanabhaya, another meaning, Pankajanabhaya means originally a lotus stem came out from the navel of Garbhodrashya Vishnu, and Brahma was born in that lotus flower, the origin of creation. So Krishna's all parts of the body are reference to the Pankaja. Pankaja means lotus flower. Panka means mud, and the Ja means generate. Pankaja, the lotus flower, is so important. Still, it is generated from mud. So Krishna likes Pankaja very much. Lotus flower. So if we see lotus flower, we can immediately remember Krishna. Just like if you love your child, if you use any garment, a small ship, shoes, or any playthings, immediately you remember your child. Oh, this is my child's shoes. This is my child's playing things. This is my garment. So it is the custom of love. If you actually love God, Krishna, then you can remember him at any time, always, always. There is no difficulty. Here Kunti Devi describes Pankaja with reference to lotus flower. And Krishna described himself in the Bhagavad Gita. Rasoham apsu kaunteya. I am the taste of the liquid. So Krishna can be remembered by tasting water. Even those who are drinking, if he thinks that this taste of drinking is Krishna, he will one day come out a great saintly person. Such a nice thing, Krishna consciousness. If you have to cultivate Krishna consciousness, if you follow the description given by the Shastras, so I can request that even the drunkards, that you can become Krishna conscious. The drunkard want to speak of others because Krishna says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. I am the taste of the liquid. Generally, liquid water is taken. So liquor is also liquid. Liquor is bad because it creates intoxication. Otherwise, it is made from sugar, molasses with sulfuric acid fermented. So far I know. We were in the chemical line. Molasses fermented with sulfuric acid and then distilled. That is called spirit or liquor. So thing is, nothing is bad, but because if a thing creates bad effects, that is bad. Then it is bad. Then it is bad. So I shall request even the drunkards in your country. There are many drunkards. There is no scarcity. You'll see that uh, in India also. So many people actually drinking. In your country, there are many drunkards. There is no scarcity. If you will kindly remember when drinking wine that this nice taste of drinking is Krishna, just begin with it. And you will come out one day a saintly person, Krishna conscious. It's so nice and practical. So Krishna is available any circumstance if you want to catch him. That's all. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yena mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. If one is actually very serious to search out Krishna, Krishna is everywhere. Andantarastha paramanu chantarastham govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his works of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All universes exist in him, and is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore. You'll see that Krishna is everywhere. Andantarastha Paramanu Chantarastham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Undifferentiated, the Lord divine, potency and possessor entwine. Creation's marvels by him spun, in every atom he is one. Millions of worlds, his artistry, universes dwell within his sea. Primeval Lord, I bow before, in every speck his presence pure. So the Lord is present everywhere. He is within this universe, not only within, he is within your heart. He is within the atom even. So it is not difficult. Hmm. It is not difficult to find him out. But you must know the process, how to find him out. And this process is very simple. And the process we are distributing by the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to everyone without any charge. The process is to chant Hare Krishna. As soon as you chant Hare Krishna, immediately you understand Krishna. As soon as you see the lotus flower, if you hear this verse, the Sanskrit verse is meant for understanding ourselves. It is not for simply selling our books. Every one of you, we are repeating this verse again and again so that you are expected to chant these mantras. Not that the book is kept. I am very learned scholar. What kind of learned scholar? If I find the book, then I can speak. That is not scholarship. You must chant. Therefore, we are teaching in our Dallas children simply to learn Sanskrit. We are nothing to do anything else. They are not going to be technologist or servant of everyone. No, we want some generation who can preach Krishna consciousness. So here Swami Maharaj is explaining that why he started the Gurukul. And the same reason, Sripad Dandi Maharaj also started in Bangalore and in Anandam also. So he's telling that what a clear objective. We want some generation who can preach Krishna consciousness. So if they learn simply English and Sanskrit, they'll be able to read this book, and that is sufficient. We don't want anything. All uh, informations are there. Throughout the whole world, whatever knowledge is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam, everything is there. There is literature, there is poetry, there is philosophy, there is religion, there is love of Godhead, there is astronomy. Everything is there. Srimad Bhagavatam, Amalam Puranam, Vidya Bhagavatavadhi. If one simply reads this Srimad Bhagavatam, his education is the topmost. Vidya Bhagavatavadhi. There is something topmost ultimate. So for education, Vidya, this Srimad Bhagavatam. If one studies Srimad Bhagavatam, he is well versed in every subject matter. So this is the Swami Maharaj is telling. In Dallas, we impart Sanskrit's lore for Krishna consciousness to explore. Not technologists, not or mere servants they will be, but preachers of truth, wise and free. English and Sanskrit they shall read with Srimad Bhagavatam as their creed. All knowledge within its pages abide, literature, poetry, and wisdom side by side. Religion, philosophy, and love divine, astronomy's wonders in its lines entwined. Srimad Bhagavatam, the Puran so pure, the topmost education it will ensure. Vidya, the ultimate, it shall bestow, a treasure trove of wisdom to show. In every subject, well versed they will be, with Srimad Bhagavatam, knowledge set free. So that is what Swami Maharaj vision was there. So if you want to create a new generation in your country so that In the future, there will be fluent speakers in Srimad Bhagavatam and preach all over the country, and your country will be saved. This is our program. We have come here not to exploit your country, but to give you something substantial. This is Krishna consciousness movement. So read Bhagavatam, pronounce the verses very nicely. Therefore, we are repeating. You hear the records and try to repeat. Simply by chanting the mantra, you will be purified. Simply by chanting. Even you don't understand a single word of it. Simply if you chant, this vibration has got some such power. Shunvatam sakatha Krishna punyashravana kirtana Ridyantastoya bhadrani vidunoti satam. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul, in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his message, the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. If you simply chant and vibrate these verses, these shlokas, it is Punya Shravana Kirtana. There is no question of understanding. Punya Shravana. Punya means pious and Shravana means hearing. Kirtana means chanting. One who is chanting this verse and one who is hearing this verse is becoming pious, automatically pious. To become pious, one has to endeavor so much. Do this, do that. But if you simply hear these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, therefore, as a rigid principle, in every temple there should be class for hearing and chanting. Without hearing and chanting to become leader, it is impossible. You can become leader in the material world, but not in the spiritual world. Shravanam Kirtanam. So actually, Swami Maharaj is here emphasizing. He's telling that everyone must attend the Bhagavatam classes. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्णा पुण्यश्रवण कीर्तना रुद्यन्तस्तोय भद्राणि विदनोति श्रुतसताम्. So Sai Maharaj's message he's telling, in your country, a generation we aim to raise, fluent in Srimad Bhagavatam's profound ways, to preach across the land, wisdom to unfurl, a mission to save with Krishna consciousness as our pearl. We are not here to exploit, but to share something substantial, a gift that's rare. Chant Bhagavatam's verses with care, in its vibration, purity to declare. Even if the words you don't comprehend, in chanting blessings you shall transcend. Shunvatam Sakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha. Pious merits it bestows upon each devotee span. In every temple, a vital decree, classes for hearing and chanting to become a leader in the spiritual domain. Shravana Kirtana, the essential refrain. So it is important. We don't miss these classes. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Mali Hayya Kare Sei Bijaropana Shravana Kirtana Jale Karaye Sechana. When a person receives the seed of devotional service, he should take care of it by becoming a gardener and sowing the seed in his heart. If he waters the seed gradually by the process of Shravana and Kirtan, hearing and chanting, the seed will begin to sprout. Bhakti-Vidanta Bija. It is a seed of developing your original consciousness. Just like in the seed, there is potency. In a small seed, mustard-like, but if you sow it in due course of time, it comes out a big banyan tree. As much potency in that seed. Where is that scientist? Just prepare a seed in which there is a big gigantic banyan tree. Where is your science? But that is not possible. Krishna says, Bijoham sarvabhutanam, I am the seed. So anyone can appreciate. Suppose the banyan seed, you have seen the fig fruit. There are hundreds and thousands of seeds, and each seed there is a banyan tree. Each seed. If you simply study a banyan tree, you can study the whole cosmic manifestation. If you simply think over, these are small seed insignificant, and there are millions of seeds like that, millions of fruits, and each seed containing the potency of fructifying into big banyan tree. So who has made it? How much his brain is sharp that he has made it? It is done by brain. It has not come out automatically. This is rascaldom. Whatever, what is coming, rascaldom? No, there is brain. Janmadasya yato anvayaritartashartesha vidnyaswarat tene brahmarudayadi kavaye muyyantiya suraya tejo vari mridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargom mrusha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. O my Lord Shri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all pervasive personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Shri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance and destruction of the manifested universe. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations and is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in fire and or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Shri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. So the Vedanta Sutra says that everything is coming from his brain, big brain. Krishna has got big brain. We haven't got such brain. Still, we rascals, we claim that I am as good as Krishna. I am God. What nonsense. You are God, you cannot create anything. So here, Swami Maharaj is telling that we are not God. Dasosmi. We are the servants of Krishna. Majjanmana phalamidam madutaita bhare mat prarthaniya madanugraham esha eva tad bhritya bhritya paricharaka bhritya bhritya bhrityasya bhritya iti mam smaralokanatha. I am not Krishna, but I am the servant of Krishna. Krishna can create so many banyan seeds, and he can put the potency of each banyan tree inside each seed also. So Bhakti Lata Beach, the seed so profound, awakens our consciousness, the truth it surrounds. Like the tiny mustard seed, full of potential, becomes a grand banyan tree that's essential. But can science create such a seed with power? A giant tree, a miraculous flower? Krishna proclaims, I am that seed divine, the source of all life, the eternal sign. In a fig of banyan, a cosmic view, millions of seed, each life anew. Each seed contains the tree's grand scheme, designed by his brain. Claim equality, God they declare, but their claims are baseless, mere empty air. For God's genius vast, we can't comprehend. Creating all life, on Him we depend. So Krishna is creating the life, we are not. So this Krishna consciousness moment is so nice. Here Kunti Devi, a great devotee, is giving us opportunity to become Krishna conscious. Simply concentrating your mind on lotus flower. That's all. Lotus flower. As soon as you see a lotus flower, you immediately think of Namaha Pankajanabhaya. Oh, Krishna's navel is just like a lotus flower. From the navel of Krishna, there was a stem of lotus flower. And from that lotus flower, Brahma came out. And Brahma created this universe. This universe means so many planets, so many seas, mountains and cities, motor cars, everything. Within that lotus flower, the beginning is Namaha Pankajanabhaya, Namaha Pankajamaline, Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, uh, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotus. शिष्य नमो पंकजनाभाय नमो पंकजमालिने नमो पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे. My humble salutations to you, O Lord divine, whose abdomen bears a lotus mark so fine, adorned with lotus garlands, ever adorned. Your glance, cool as a lotus, is adorned. Your feet, engraved with lotuses, stand tall. In awe of your beauty, I humbly fall. So you'll see here that Bhagavan is so beautiful. So such wonderful lotus flowers, which contains the seedling of the whole universe. That is not only one, Pankaja Maline. Just like here is a garland, there are so many flowers. So Krishna is not so poor that simply producing one lotus flower is finished. No, there is a garland of lotus flowers, big garland. So as many lotus flowers as you want. This is God. यस्यैकनिष्ठिता कालम अथावलंब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनाथा विष्णोर्महांस यस्य कला विशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Brahma, Brahma and other lords of the mundane worlds, appearing from the pores of hair of Mahavishnu, remain alive as long as the duration of one exhalation of the latter Mahavishnu. Adore the primeval Lord Govinda, of whose subjective personality Mahavishnu is the portion of portion. The supreme majesty of the subjective nature of Vishnu is shown here. So unlimited, everything is unlimited. Krishna's creations. We are very much concerned with one planet, but this Krishna's creation is unlimited number of planets. As you see, unlimited number of hairs on your head, you cannot count. Can you count how many hairs are there? This is Krishna's creation. You cannot count. So what to speak of all this hair? Anything you take. You take one tree, unlimited number of foliages. You cannot count. You cannot count. Similarly, unlimited number of planets, unlimited number of universes, everything unlimited. Therefore, he is unlimited. Namaha Pankajanabhaya, Namaha Pankajamaline, Namaha Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangre. Namo Pankajanetraya, Namo Pankajamaline. So Krishna is everything is compared here to the lotus. So this Krishna consciousness moment, a wondrous grace, allows us to focus on the lotus flowers embrace. When we see the lotus, our minds are inspired. Namo Pankaja Nabhaya, our hearts are fired. From Krishna's navel, a lotus stem did sprout. Brahma emerged, the universe came about. Within that lotus, worlds did unfurl, a seedling of creation, a divine swirl. Not just one lotus, a garland he dons, countless creations like hairs on our crowns. The universes, the universe vastness, we can't define. Krishna's creation infinitely divine. With lotus-like eyes, his beauty does shine. Alula Chandrika Kalasat Vanamalya Vamshi is divine. So it is told. So if you simply think only one verse, as it is explained here, the Pankaja lotus in reference with Krishna's body. If you simply think one verse, as is explained here, the Pankaj lotus in reference with Krishna's body, you can meditate the whole life how Krishna is beautiful, how Krishna is wise, how Krishna's creation. This is meditation, thinking of Krishna. Dhyana avasthit gatena manasa pashyanti yam yogina Sutavacha yam brahma varunendra rudra maruta stuvanti divyaistavayir Vere sanga padakramopanishadair gayanti yam samagam ध्यानावस्थित गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यम योगिनो यस्यांतं न विदु सुरासुरगुणा देवाय तस्मै नमः. Sutta Goswami said, unto that personality whom Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Rudra and the Maruts praise by chanting transcendental hymns and reciting the Vedas with all their corollaries, uh, Parakramas and Upanishads, to whom the chanters of the Samaved always sing, whom the perfected yogis see within their minds after fixing themselves in trance and absorbing themselves within him, and whose limit can never be found by any demigod or demon. Unto that supreme personality of Godhead offer my humble obeisances. So the how Krishna is great. Huh? Yogi means he's always thinking of Krishna. Mat paraha. That is yogi. These rascals are not yogi, thinking something impersonal and being harassed. क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्ता सक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested impersonal feature of the supreme advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. So they are simply laboring. Klesho adhikadarastesha, more and more. They cannot get anything substantial. Therefore, after meditation, come on, give me cigarette. Come on, my throat is now dried up. Give me cigarette. That is not meditation. Meditation means this is Namaha Pankaja Netraya, Namaha Pankaja Maline, Namaha Pankaja Nagaya, Namaste Pankajangre. If you think of Krishna always, Satatam Chintayanto Mam, Yatantascha Dridavratah, Namastantascha Mam Bhaktya, Nityayukta Upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So, always chanting my glories. Krishna is telling, ever chanting my glories, steadfast and bold, with resolute hearts they embrace the fold, bowing in reverence, devotion profound, these great souls to me, their love is bound. The great soul, Mahatmanasambham Partham Devim Prakriti Mahashita, Bhajanti Ananya Manasu Jnatva Bhutadimabhayam, always thinking of me. Yatantascha Dridavvrata, endeavoring to advance in Krishna consciousness with vow. Then we have to remain purified because Krishna is purified. Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum Austvam Rishaya Sarve Devarshi Naradas Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Jaiva Bravishime. Arjun said, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narad, Sita, Devala, and Vyasa confirm this truth about you. And now you yourself are declaring it to me. Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum Austarsha Sarve Devarshi Nardastatha Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Pravishime. Arjuna spoke with awe in his voice. You are the supreme, the ultimate choice, purest and absolute, the truth divine, eternal and transcendent. Your glory shines. Unborn and greatest, the original soul, sages and seers, your greatness extol. Narad, Asita, Devala, Vyasa's sight, all confirm the truth, your radiant light. So all are glorifying Krishna. Asito, Devalo, Vyasa. So you cannot approach Krishna impurified. But if you think of Krishna always in this way, meditate upon Krishna, then you will be purified. Punya Shravana Kirtanaha. Shunvatam sakatha Krishna Punyashravana Kirtana Rudhyantastohya Vadrani Vidanoti Srutsatam. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So, Shrunvatam Sakatha Krishna Punyashramana Kirtana Rudyantosto Abhatani Vidunoti Srusatam. All the heart is cleansed of sins, dirty things when we hear Harikatha. Shri Krishna, God's essence, in each heart he dwells. The benevolent soul, where devotion excels, the yearning to hear his messages divine, cleanses desires, material ties untwine. In the devotee's heart, his presence serene, when heard and chanted, virtues convene. His, his words are pure when properly received from worldly entanglements, one is relieved. So if we listen to the message of Krishna, we are relieved of our worldly entanglements. So that meditation can be possible by hearing and chanting. Then thinking will automatically come. That is the process of Krishna consciousness. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhakti Navalakshana Kriyata Bhagavatyadha Tanmanne Adidamuttamam. Prahlad Maharaj said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him, in other words, serving him with the body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. So you'll see that Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Arjanam Mandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktichena Balakshana Kriyeta Bhagavati Adha Tanmanne Adhitamuttamam. Prahlad Maharaj spoke wise and true. The 9 paths of devotion to Krishna they drew, chanting his name, his pastimes adored, with love and remembrance to him they soared, serving his feet with reverence profound, worship and prayers their hearts did surround. As his servants and friend, they did relate, surrendering all, their love reached its state. In body, mind, and words, to him they pledged, complete knowledge attained, their souls enriched. A life dedicated to Krishna's embrace, the most learned basking in his grace. So here, it is important that we follow these 9 processes. Smarana means remember. If you chant and hear, then the remembrance will automatically come. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Parasevanam. Then you will be engaged in worshipping his lotus feet. Archanam. Then you will be engaged in Archanam, the temple worship. Vandanam, offering prayers. Dasyam. You will engage yourself as a servant. Sakyam. You will become friend of Krishna. Atmanivedanam. And surrender everything to Krishna. This is the process. So each and every verse you should chant very perfectly, nicely, and meditate upon it. That is the process of progress, advancement in spiritual life. We should get all these verses by heart and chant and offer prayers to the Lord. Vandanam. These are meant for such purpose. Namaha Pankajanabhaya, Namaha Pankajamaline, Namaha Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangre. Everything is Krishna's with reference to Pankaj. Thank you very much. So this is Swami Maharaj lecture. We'll take the next verse, 1.8.23. यथा ऋषिकेशखलेन देवकी कंसेन रुद्धाति चरम् कंसेन रुद्धाति चिरं शुचार्पिता विमोहिता विमोचिताहं च सात्मजा विभो त्वयैव नाथेन मुहुर्विपद्गणान् यथा ऋषिकेश खलेन देवकी कंसेन रुद्धाति चिरं सुचार्पिता विमोचिताहं च सात्मजा विभो त्वयैव नाथेन मुहुर्विपद्गणा यथा as it were Rishikesha the master of the senses Khalena by the envious Devki the mother of Shri Krishna Kamsena by King Kamsa Ruddha imprisoned Atichiram for a long time Shucha Arpita distressed Vimochita released Ahamcha also myself Sah Atmaja along with my children Vibho O great one Toya Eva by your lordship Nathena as the protector Muhu constantly Vipat Ganat from a series of dangers. O Rishikesha, master of the senses and lord of lords, you have released your mother Devki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious King Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers. Devki, the mother of Krishna and sister of King Kamsa, was put into prison along with her husband Vasudev because the envious king was afraid of being killed by Devki's eighth son Krishna. He killed all the sons of Devki who were born before Krishna. But Krishna escaped the danger of child slaughter because he was transferred to the house of Nanda Maharaj, King Krishna's foster father, or real father. Kunti Devi, along with her children, was also saved from a series of dangers. But Kunti Devi was shown far more favor because Lord Krishna did not save the other children of Devki, whereas he saved the children of Kunti Devi. This was done because Devki's husband Vasudev was living, whereas Kunti Devi was a widow, and there was none to help her except Krishna. The conclusion is that Krishna endows more favor to a devotee who is in greater dangers. Sometimes he puts his pure devotees in such dangers because in that condition of helplessness, the devotee becomes more attached to the Lord. The more the attachment is there for the Lord, the more success is there for the devotee. So Krishna is Deenabandhu. Deenabandhu iti namate smaran Yadavendra patitoham utsaye Bhaktavatsalaaya tvai shrute Hridayam mamakam ashukam pate. So Bhagwan is very, very kind. So Devki, uh, the mother of Lord Krishna and sister of King Kamsa, found herself imprisoned alongside her husband Vasudev due to King Kamsa's fear of being killed by her eighth son Krishna. Tragically, all the sons born before Krishna were slain by the envious king. However, Krishna was spared from this dreadful fate as he was miraculously transferred to the home of Nanda Maharaj, his foster father. You'll see that so Krishna is very, very kind to Kunti actually. He is kind to Devaki, but even more kind to Kunti, it seems, because Devaki's sons perished, but all the five sons of Kunti remained alive even after the war. So in prison walls, Devaki lay, her husband Vasudeva night and day, envious king with fear entwined, feared Devaki's eighth son in mind. Sons born before made a tragic end, but Krishna to Nanda's home did ascend. Kunti Devi, danger she faced with her children by grace embraced. Krishna's favor Kunti did find, while Devaki's sons were left behind. Widowed Kunti sought his aid. In helplessness her love displayed. Krishna's devotion in danger's clutch deepen their bond, their hearts he does touch. Attachment pure to the Lord so dear, success and grace they shall revere. So here Kunti is explaining that how Krishna was very, very kind to her. O Rishikesh, master of the senses and lord of lords, you have released your mother Devki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious King Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers. So this is the position of devotees. That Devki, who happens to be the mother of Krishna, She is not ordinary woman. Who can become the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the most advanced devotee, so that Krishna has agreed to become her son. In his previous life, the husband and wife they underwent severe austerities, and when Krishna appeared before them and wanted to give them benediction, they wanted a son like God. So, where can be another person who is equal to God? That is not possible. God means there is no equal, there is no greater, asamordhva. That is God. God, there cannot be any competition. That you are God, I am God, He is God, He is God. No, these are dogs. They are not God. God means without competition. One. God is one. Nobody is great. Asamordhva. Nobody is greater than him. Nobody is equal to him. Everyone is lower. Ekale Ishvara Krishna Arasabhabhrutya Jare Jaise Nacha Jase Taiche Kare Nritya. Lord Krishna alone is the supreme controller and all others are his servants. They dance as he makes them to do so. So you'll see that Krishna is the supreme person. No one is equal to him. He is Asamordha Tattva. Asamordha means he is no one. Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma also not equal to him. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadirayan Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So Shiva Virinchinutam Sharanyam. Bhagavatam says, Deyam Sada Paribhavagnam Avishtadoham Tirthaspodam Shiva Virinchinutam Sharanyam Vrityartiham Pranatapala Bhavabdipotam Vande Mahapurushate Charanarvindam. My dear Lord, you are the Mahapurusha, the great personality of Godhead, and I worship your lotus feet, which are the only eternal object of meditation. Those feet destroy the embarrassing conditions of material life and freely award the greatest desire of the soul, the attainment of pure love of Godhead. My dear Lord, your lotus feet are the shelter of all holy places and all saintly authorities in the line of devotional service and are honored by powerful demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. My Lord, you are so kind that you willingly protect all those who simply bow down to you with respect, and thus you mercifully relieve all the distress of your servants. In conclusion, my Lord, your lotus feet are actually the suitable boat for crossing over the ocean of birth and death, and therefore even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva seek shelter at your lotus feet. So in Shastra it is said that he is offered respect by Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. They are the topmost demigods. There are demigods. And above the human beings, there are demigods. As we are humans, being above the lower creatures, lower animals, similarly above us, there are demigods. And the most important demigod is Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Brahma is the creator of this universe, and Lord Shiva is the destroyer of this universe. And Lord Vishnu is the maintainer. Lord Vishnu is Krishna himself. So for the maintenance of this material world, there are three gunas, Sattva gun, Rajo gun and Tamo gun. So each one of them has taken charge of one department. So Lord Vishnu has taken the department of Sattva gun, the Lord Brahma has taken the department of Rajo gun, and Lord Shiva has taken the department of Tamo gun. They are not under the influence of these gunas. Just like the superintendent of jail, he is not a prisoner, he is controlling officer. Similarly, Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Brahma, although they are controlling each department, they are not under the controlling department. We may not commit mistake. So Rishikesh, Krishna is the supreme controller. Rishika, Rishik means senses. So we are enjoying our senses, but ultimately the controller is Krishna. Similarly, this is my hand. I am claiming it is my hand. I shall give you a good feast. Uh, I am very much proud, but I am not the controller. The controller is Krishna. If he withdraws the power of the activity of your arm, you become paralyzed. Although you are claiming it is my hand, I shall use it. But when it is paralyzed, you cannot do anything. Therefore, I may have possessed this hand by the grace of Krishna, but I am not the controller. That is Krishna consciousness. Therefore, a sane man shall think that ultimately, if this hand is to be controlled by Krishna, then it is meant for Krishna. This is the common sense understanding. I am claiming that this is my hand, this is my leg, this is my ear. Even children says, you ask the children, what is this? It is my hand. But we may claim, but actually it is not our hand. It is given by the Lord because I wanted to use my hands in so many ways. Krishna has given. All right, you take this hand, use it. So it is a gift of Krishna. Sai Maharaj is telling that actually nothing belongs to us. Even our body doesn't belong to us. Everything is Krishna's. So he is the proprietor. Isha vasyam idam sarvam yakincham jagatam jagat tena taktena bhunjita magridha kasya siddhanam. That everything belongs to Krishna. Krishna is the proprietor of everything. We should always try to remember this. So in the realm of Rishikesh, the supreme controller, the term Rishika denotes the senses. We as living beings derive pleasure from the use of our senses. Yet it is essential to recognize that the ultimate controller of these senses is Krishna. We may claim ownership over our hands and with pride declare this is my hand and I can use it as I please. But in truth, we are not the true controllers. The one who governs our actions and abilities is Krishna. If Krishna were to withdraw the power that enables our arms to function, we would be left paralyzed and unable to wield them. Thus, even though sometimes you see that people become paralyzed, then they cannot use their hands. They may be very strong, but if they're paralyzed, so they cannot wield it. So, thus, even though we may consider our hands and our faculties as our possessions, it is crucial to understand that they are granted to us by the grace of Krishna. In the realm of Krishna consciousness, a person of sound mind comprehends that these faculties are meant to be utilized for the service of Krishna. In common sense understanding, it becomes evident that if our hands, legs, and ears are to be controlled by Krishna, then their purpose is intended for Krishna's service. Children too claim ownership over their bodily parts, saying, this is my hand, this is my leg, or this is my ear. Yet, even though we make such claims, the truth remains that these faculties are bestowed upon us. Krishna has given us these faculties to utilize them in various ways. Therefore, they are, in essence, gifts from Krishna. So we should clearly understand this. That these bodies also a great gift from Krishna. Because you cannot purchase it in the market. It is not possible to purchase this body in the market. Therefore, a sane man is always conscious. Sane man is always conscious that whatever I got in my possession, first of all, this body and senses, they're actually not mine. I given all these possessions for utility. So ultimately, everything belongs to Krishna. Why it is not utilized for Krishna? That is Krishna consciousness. That is Krishna consciousness. That is intelligence. If I am given all these things for my use, for my sense gratification, but ultimately it belongs to Krishna. Mamaimangsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana manashashthanindriyani prakriti karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. Everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. So everyone's senses are also Krishna's. So when the senses are utilized for Krishna's service, that is perfection of life. So long it is utilized for my sense gratification, it is Maya. Therefore, bhakti means Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. Sarvopadhir Tatpattvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. Bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of all the senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freed from all material designations, and one's senses are purified simply by being employed in the service of the Lord. This verse is from Narad Panchatra found in the Bhakti Rasam Sindhu 1.1.12. Rishika by senses. This Rishika Sevanam. When you serve Rishikesh, really master of the senses, that is called Bhakti. Very simple description, definition of Bhakti. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Rishikesha Sevanam, not Rishika Sevanam. Rishika means senses. So when senses are used for sense gratification, that is Maya. And when senses are used for the gratification of the master of the senses, that is called Bhakti. A very simple definition. Anyone can understand. Generally, in this material world, everyone is using the senses for sense gratification. That's all. That is their bondage. That is Maya, illusion. And when he comes to Krishna consciousness, he is purified. And when he understands that actually these senses are meant for satisfying Krishna, then he is liberated person. Mukta Purusha, liberated person. Ihayasya harirtasya karmana manasa vacha. When one comes to this position, that my senses are meant for serving the master of the senses, Rishikesh. The master of senses uh, is sitting within in your heart. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishto. I am seated in everyone's heart. Matta smrutir jnanam apovanam cha. From me, remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness is coming. So, why that? Because Krishna is so merciful. If I want to use my senses in a certain way, not my senses, it is Krishna's given. So, Krishna gives the chance. All right, utilize it. Suppose I have got tongue. If I want, Krishna, I want to eat stool. I want to taste stool. Yes, Krishna will say, yes. You take this body of hog and eat stool. The master is there, Krishna. Therefore, Krishna says, Matta smriti jnanam apovanam cha. So sometimes you forget. So if you want to engage in sense gratification, Krishna will give us that facility. Yeah. But if you want to render service to Krishna, then Krishna says, all right, come, I will give service. So we have some limited free will, and uh, and how we utilize it. So here we should use Rishike and Rishikesham Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. Just like Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj engaged all his senses in service of Krishna. So in Krishna consciousness, we realize that all our possessions, including our senses, belong to Krishna. By serving him with our senses, we find liberation from material entanglement. And material existence is filled with jealousy and envy. But in Krishna consciousness, we transcend these negative qualities and become free. When we serve Krishna, he provides everything we need. There is no scarcity in Krishna consciousness. It is a path to true abundance. Let us engage in the service of the master of the senses and find ultimate um, so here very clearly told. So therefore Krishna says, Matta Smritir Jnanam Apohanam. He gives you the body, reminds you, my dear living entity, you wanted to eat stool, so now you have got a proper body. Now utilize, here is stool also. Similarly, if you want to become demigod, that also Krishna gives you chance. Anything. There are 8,400,000 forms of life. If you want to engage your senses in any type of body, Krishna is giving you. Come on, here is body, you take. But we become exasperated by using our senses. Ultimately, we become senseless. Therefore, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja am tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishami mahashucham. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not be afraid. Don't be like this. Your senses are meant for serving me. So you are misusing it. By misusing, you are becoming entrapped in different types of body. Therefore, to get relief from this tedious business of accepting one body and giving it up, again another body, again another, to continue this material existence. If you give up this process of self gratification and surrender unto me, then you are saved. This is Krishna consciousness. So at the present moment, our senses are contaminated. I'm thinking I'm American, so my senses should be utilized for the service of my country, my society, my nation. Big, big leaders, big so many things. So the real concept is that I am American, so my senses are American senses. So it must be utilized for America. Similarly, Indians thinking, others are thinking, but none of them do know that eh, that senses belong to Krishna. This is ignorance, no intelligence. They are thinking for the time being that these senses, Upadhi designated, American senses, Indian senses, African senses. No, this is called Maya. It is covered. Therefore, Bhakti means Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam Tatparattvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of all the senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freed from all material designations, and one's senses are purified simply by being employed in the service of the Lord. When your senses will be contaminated with all these designations, that is the beginning of bhakti. If I think I am American, why shall I take Krishna consciousness? It is Hindu God. That is foolishness. If I think I am Mohammedan, I am Christian, then you are gone. If you purify the senses that I am spirit soul, the spirit soul is supreme spirit soul is Krishna, I am part and parcel of Krishna, therefore it is my duty to serve Krishna, then you become free immediately. Immediately. You are no more American, Indian, or African, or this or that. You are Krishnaized, Krishna conscious. That is wanted. Therefore, Kunti Devi says, Rishikesh, my dear Krishna, you are the master of the senses, and for the sense gratification, we are fallen in this material condition of life, different varieties of life. So we are suffering, and suffering to the extent even one becomes Krishna's mother. Because this is material world. She is also put into suffering. What to speak of others? Devaki is so advanced that she has become the mother of Krishna, but still she is put into difficulties. And and difficulties by whom? By her brother Kamsa. So this world is like that. Try to understand. Even you become Krishna's mother, and even your brother, who is very nearest relative. So the world is such jealous that if one's personal interest is hampered, everyone will be ready to give you trouble. This is the world. Everyone, even if he is brother, even if his father, what to speak of others? Ka khalena, khala means jealous. This material world is jealous, envious. I am envious of you, you are envious of me. This is our business. This is our business. Therefore, this Krishna consciousness movement is for such persons who is no more jealous, who is no more envious. Perfect person. Dharma projito kaitavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. वेद्यम वास्तव मत्र वस्तु शिवदम वेद्यम वास्तव मत्र वस्तु शिवदम तापत्र मूलनम श्रीमद् भागवते महामुनि कृते किंबा परमेश्वरा सत्यो हृदय वरुद्धते अत्र कृतिभि शुश्रूभि तत्क्षणात्. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. This Bhagavad Puran propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those persons who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. Those who are jealous and envious, they are within this material world. And those who are not jealous, they are in the spiritual world. Simple thing. You test yourself. Whether I am jealous, envious of my other associates, friends, everything, then I am in the material world. And if I am not jealous, then I am in the spiritual world. Anyone can test. There is no question of whether I am spiritually advanced or not. You can test yourself. Bhakti pareshan bho viraktir annatra chaisha trikaka kala prapadyamana yatharstata syus tushti pushtik shudapayo nudhasam. Devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord, and detachment from other things. These three occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the same way that pleasure, nourishment, and relief from hunger come simultaneously and increasingly with each bite for a person engaged in eating. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this analogy as follows. Bhakti or devotion may be compared to tushti, satisfaction, because they take the form of pleasure. Pareshanubhava, experience of the Supreme Lord, and pushti, nourishment, are analogous because both sustain one's life. Finally, virakti, detachment, and kshut apai, cessation of hunger, may be compared because both free one from further hankering so that one may experience shanti or peace. Just like if you are eating, you'll understand whether you are satisfied, whether your hunger is satisfied. You haven't got to take certificate from others. Similarly, if you test yourself whether you are jealous, whether you are envious, then you are in the material world. And if you are not jealous, if you are not envious, then in the spiritual world. Then you can serve Krishna very nicely if you are not jealous. Because our jealousy, enviousness has begun from Krishna. Just like the Mayavadis. Why Krishna shall be God? I am also God. I am also God. So this is the beginning of material life, to become envious of Krishna. Why Krishna shall be enjoyer? I shall be enjoyer. Why Krishna I shall enjoy the gopis? I shall become Krishna and enjoy, make a society of gopis and enjoy. This is Maya. Nobody can be enjoyer. Krishna therefore says, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram sruhudam sarvabhutanam gyatmamam shanti mruchati. So Shri Krishna is the only enjoyer. And if you supply ingredients for his enjoyment, that is our perfection of life. And if you want to imitate Krishna, that I shall become God, I shall become an imitator, enjoyer, then you are in the Maya. Simply our business is just like the gopis' life. Krishna is enjoying and they are supplying the ingredients of enjoyment. Yes, this is bhakti. We are meant for Krishna. Krishna is supplying the servant and master. The servant is being supplied all the necessities by the master, but the servant's duty is to serve the master. That's all. Eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman nityo nityanam chetana chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. So these are the Vedic information. Krishna is supplying immense all the necessities of life. There is no scarcity. There is no economic problem. You simply try to serve Krishna. Then everything is complete because he is Rishikesh. So if Krishna desires, there may be ample supplies. Just like in your country, there is ample supplies. In our country, in other country, I went to Switzerland, everything is imported. No supply. The supply is only snow. Take as much snow as you like. You see. Similarly, everything is under the control of Krishna. If you become devotee, then there is no snow supply, simply food supply. And if you don't become devotee, be covered with snow. That's all. Covered with cloud. Everything is under Krishna's control. So actually, there is no scarcity. The scarcity is Krishna consciousness. So if you become Krishna conscious, then everything is ample. There is no scarcity. This is the process. And Tvaya Rushikesha. So here it is said, Tvaya Rushikesha, Yatha Rushikesha Khalena Devaki. The world is full of dangers, but Devaki, Kunti Devi says, but because Devaki is your devotee, you saved her from the distresses offered by her envious brother. As soon as the brother heard that my sister's son, eighth son of my sister, will kill me, oh, he was ready immediately to kill Devaki. So he was pacified by Devaki's husband. It is a duty of the husband to give protection. So, my dear brother-in-law, why you are envious to your sister? After all, your sister will not kill you. Her son will kill you. That is the problem. So I shall deliver all the sons to you. then you can do whatever you like. Why you are killing this innocent girl, newly married? She's your younger sister, just like your daughter. You should give her protection. You are doing this. What are you doing? What you are doing this? So Kamsa became pacified. He believed in the words of Vasudeva that he will deliver all the sons. And if you like, can kill. He thought, let me save the present situation. After all, later on, when Kamsa gets a nephew, he may forget this enviousness. But he is never to forget. Yes, he killed all the sons and kept them in prison. Shucharpita Ruddha Atichiram. Atichiram means for long time. So he was saved. Devaki was saved after all. Similarly, if we take the position of Devaki, Kunti just like with her sons, Pancha Pandavas, five Pandavas. After she became widow, the whole plan was Dhrashtra's. How to kill these children of my younger brother? Because by chance I was blind, so I could not get the throne of the kingdom. My younger brother got it. Now he is dead. So at least my sons, they should get the throne. That was his policy, Dhritarashtra's policy. I could not get the throne. This is material propensities. I shall be happy. My sons shall be happy. My community shall be happy. My nation shall be happy. These are extended selfishness. Nobody is thinking Krishna. How Krishna will be happy. Everyone is thinking in his own terms. How I shall be happy, how my children shall be happy, my community shall be happy, my society shall be happy, my nation shall be happy. This is a struggle for existence. Everywhere you will find it. This is the material existence. Nobody is thinking how Krishna will be happy. Therefore, this Krishna consciousness is very sublime. Try to understand from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Try to engage your senses for the service of the master of the senses. Then you will be happy. Thank you very much. So here Sai Maharaj is making a point that origin of everything is our enviousness of Krishna. We became envious and we wanted to be Krishna. We wanted to be the enjoyer. Um, so therefore, we are suffering in this material world. This is the material world is meant for the envious people. We became envious of Krishna. We are also envious of others, but we should not be envious of Krishna. So Kamsa was momentarily pacified when he believed Vasudeva's assurance that he would deliver all the sons to him, even allowing him to kill them if he wished. However, Kamsa's envious nature could not be forgotten or overcome. As a result, he mercilessly killed all the sons of Devaki and imprisoned her. On the other hand, let's consider the situation of Devaki and Kunti. Kunti, the mother of the five Pandava brothers, faced a similar threat when she became a widow. Dhritarashtra, brother-in-law, plotted to kill her sons to secure his own sons' claims to the throne. This illustrates a materialistic mentality driven by selfish desires. People often pursue personal happiness, the happiness of their children, community, and nation, without considering Krishna's happiness. Such self centered pursuits dominate the struggle for existence in the material world. Everywhere, this material existence revolves around fulfilling one's own desires and with little thought for how Krishna will be pleased or satisfied. So, thank you so much. We'll stop here and tomorrow. There will be another verse. Tomorrow also there will be class on Chaitanya Charitamrut and because Friday, and we'll take the verse 1.8.23 tomorrow. 1.8.23 again we'll discuss because there is another lecture by Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj, so we'll discuss that again. This verse in more detail. 1.8.23. Thank you so much.
So much.
Jai
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग दांधर विका गिरधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहार जी की जय। जय नितला पृष्ठ जत गुरु शिष्य भक्तिदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज गुरुदेव की जय। नितला पृष्ठम विष्णुपाद शिष्य भक्तिदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नितला पृष्ठम विष्णुपाद शिष्यमत भक्तिदांत त्रिविक्रम गोसाई महाराज की जय। नितला पृष्ठम विष्णुपाद शिष्यमत गौरगोविंद गोसाई महाराज की जय। नितला पृष्ठम विष्णुपाद शिष्यमत भक्तिदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय। नितला पृष्ठम विष्णुपाद शिष्यमत आचार्य केशरी भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। जिस परिकर जगत गुरु श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती प्रभुपाद ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गो गोवर्धन द्वार सवनात्मक सूर्य मंडल की जय। गंगा जमुना तुलसी भक्त देवी की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय। सर्वविघ्न विनाशन भक्ति विघ्न विनाशन नृसिंह भगवान की जय। भक्त श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। चारों संप्रदाय की जय, चारों आचार्य की जय, चारों धामों की जय। आकर मठा चैतन्य मठ की जय। केशव जी गौड़िया मठ की जय। रूपस्नान गौड़िया मठ की जय। गिरधारी गौड़िया मठ की जय। रोहन बिहारी गौड़िया मठ की जय। रंगनाथ गौड़िया मठ की जय। आनंद धाम गौड़ी आश्रम की जय। अन्य शाखा मठ समूह की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। त्रिंडी स्वामी शिष्य भक्तांत दंडी महाराज जी की जय। नामनिष्ठ संत श्री अनिरुद्ध दास प्रभु की जय। मठे से वृंद की जय। धामवासी भक्त वृंद की जय। समागत भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर सीता प्रेमानंद हे हरि हरि बोल। क्षमा करो, दया करो, कृपा कर, रक्षा करो। गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय ददाले कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय नमो। ओम वृंदाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति पद्ये सत्यवत्तै नमो नमः। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुश्च पद्मानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। आनंद कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण। दंडवत।